I welcome you to our daily Bible study. This is the 22nd Bible study and the second lesson. And this session is going to deal with fasting. And today's lesson is going to be Hebrew definitions of the term fast, fasting, or fasted. Again, I am your host, Dr. Terry K. Reeves. Let's dive right in. I have this pulled up on the screen, and I want to be very thorough today. There's only one more term for fasting, in that the other scriptures that are used either use the word sum or tsam. And so we're not going to repeat these because they can be used as the word fast, fasted, fasting, or even fastings. And so the next word is the word savath, tivath, I'm sorry. I'm looking at some different notes here. So it is the word tivath, and it basically means to fast or to go without. It is an Aramaic term in the Old Testament, and therefore tivath means fasting, fastingly, or being hungry. It corresponds to another term, which is tava, which means to spin. It is a verb. And so it means as spinning a basket used for storing various tools and materials, including yarning. And so it deals with putting fibers together to contain something. And so from this, we can see that the basket is a mindset, and it could possibly deal with the confining of the word of the Lord, seeking. The seeking process is the knitting process of the basket. And so it deals with, from its root term, to spin, to weave a basket for the purpose of containing something. And in all probable causes, then, it's dealing with to contain word, to contain direction, to contain information, to contain counsel. And so when we look at the word tivath, it basically deals with tava, from the foundation. I'm spinning, or I'm collecting my mind, bringing my mind in together into a continuity where I can now receive the things of God and store them. And therefore, it is connected with being hungry, but at the same time, weaving a basket, a container to collect. As we go a little further, it comes then again from the Chaldee or the Chaldean language, and it means to hunger as twisting and fasting. And again, this twisting is the wiring of a basket. And so it is through volitional desire, one is bringing themselves to a point of clarity where they can now begin to hear God and receive the things of God that promotes understanding, that promotes a system of collecting, that promotes a system of understanding. And from this point of view, fasting then is collecting information. Fasting is bringing the mind, bringing the heart to a point where we can now not just hear God, but retain the things that God desires to speak to us on, to retain those things that we need as directives or direction that will help us move from one place to another. And so fasting is not all about just not going with food or water, but it is preparing the mind to hear, preparing the heart to receive. And so in a sense, it is bringing every aspect of your mind as much as possible to a point where you can, again, collectively receive the things of God, the counsel of God. In the last segment, we dealt with the three things that fasting basically is all about. Number one, when a person is in distress. Number two, when a person is in mourning. And these two things caused the third thing. And the third thing is seeking God for directives, or seeking God to be healed or to be delivered from the distress. And so as we look at it, then Tivath is dealing with bringing the mind, bringing the heart into a state of unity, bringing you to a point of clarity where now you are prepared to hear. It suggests that until we bring our bodies under our control, until we uniquely develop some type of temperance where we can now contain and corral both our emotions and our choices into a single funnel, which is to now seek God, gain information, because they never would do something not expecting for a result. And so we're seeking God because we're expecting to find him. And in the expectation of finding him, we're expecting to receive what we need that will alleviate our mourning, our distress, our problems, our pain, our bondage. And so we understand that we seek God because he has all of the answers of the things that are needed. Now, if we go on a little further, unraveling this word tivath, we also find that in the Aramaic, it's an adjective that indicates fasting or going without eating. It describes, in many cases, even the king, Darius, as he refrains from eating during the night because he was worrying about Daniel's safety. And so it is generally tivat or tivot or tivet, depending on the pronunciation scale that you have. It literally deals with an urgency. Ergo, when we say the three major purposes for fasting, number one, to alleviate the stress that you're under, to alleviate the pain that's caused by loss or suffering, and number three, to seek God, to please God, and to gain an understanding. God, I'm here. I'm submitting. I'm ready to do everything that you desire of me to do. Therefore, speak, and your servant hears. In many cases, fasting in today's time is primarily used by people who are not doing it for religious or spiritual reasons, for bringing the body into continuity. Remember, again, fasting was to cause certain aspects of the body's cravings, desires to wither. And so you are training and you are bringing into continuity some of the greatest and the basest desires of the instincts of your humanity. If you can control those things that are connected to life and living, then you can also begin to control the aspects of your thoughts, because it is embedded and encoded within man to eat for survival, to drink for survival. These are some of the basic and most fundamental instincts that are encoded within man and animals. And so when you override through your will and say that you're not going to permit yourself to flow in the most basic and the most necessary to life instincts, you now are gaining control. You're gaining control over the script in your mind, because there are other basic instincts, such as the sexual urge, the need to receive attention, and the need to be accepted. There are cases when you won't be accepted by others because of your stance on God, your stance on what is ethical behavior, your stance on how to treat people, and your stance on adhering to the word of God. And so As you fast, you are literally defining what you will do as a person. You are defining and you are setting the boundaries where your volition, through its search and through its connections with God, can now override the basic needs for life because you're seeking for a greater truth. We are out of time, and I'm your host, Dr. Derek K. Reeves. This has been our daily Bible study. Remember to like and subscribe us on YouTube. God bless you and keep you until the next time.